Good morning, Paul. Nice to see you again. Thank you for agreeing to talk about your coaching experience with me when I worked as a mentor to you in a startup business. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name's Paul Inett. I'm currently commercial director at a company called Woodlands, Worcestershire, which is a critical power generation business, so rental, sales, service, maintenance, repairs.
When you and I first met, you were not really convinced that it was necessary to have a mentor, but by the end of our discussions, you decided that there was some value in having a mentor. What was that process like for you?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I think I knew that I wanted really to learn a little more, but I was quite concerned about the process of mentoring being too academic, if I'm really honest.
Okay.
I was a little concerned that it would be more of a mini MBA than practical real life lessons, and I was running very fast at the time. I was extraordinarily busy, as you remember. So actually, as I look back, the value of it is less about functional capability and more about emotional intelligence, I would say. So that I think during my sessions with you was the first time that I'd ever really spent any time discussing the aspects of emotional intelligence rather than functional capability. And it was right towards the end of that of our session that actually the results of the emotional intelligence survey that we did, that you shared that with me. And it's actually those lessons, I think, that have been more valuable to me over time, that have stayed with me than the functional ones, if you like. So things like stress management, situational analysis, understanding understanding where the rocks are in any particular pathway, and how to navigate those, even though theory would tell you this is what you do. Reality tells you there's some rocks in the road, and they say so. Actually, having the ability to look at things for what they really are and analyze them quickly has served me very well, I would say, in the last 5-6 years. I would suggest it really has. I think without those lessons, I would have struggled in a way that I don't think I have. So yeah, those are the ones that really stay with me, Francis.
Yeah, interesting. Because the beauty of emotional intelligence is that you recognize it's a set of skills, and you first of all discover what you're good at, and then secondly you find a set of skills where you can work on developing them further, which is lovely.
It also has helped when I've subsequently built other teams in really finding people who are the right fit to work with, not only on a personable level, but also really searching for people who have attributes, skills, and knowledge in areas that I don't have. So knowing what you don't know is actually sometimes, and certainly when you're building a team, is certainly as important as knowing what you do know and actually thinking you know it all, right? So having and being honest with yourself about actually that isn't an area that I could learn quickly enough to achieve X, So yeah, that's been really interesting and insightful for building teams, for sure.
Yeah, hire the skills you don't have as well.
Sure, for sure. Yeah, no question. And yeah, because no one man builds a business. It's very rare, right? So you really need a team with you. And unless you don't want to sleep at night or take the weekend off, you have to build a team that you can trust, and you have to build in skills, knowledge, and processes that work while you're not there, right? So that's the key to scaling any kind of business and making it actually work in the long term, truly.
What does the future look like for you at the moment then, Paul?
So it's good. I've recently joined a company I'm with now, Woodlands. Initially, my brief was to come in and help the company navigate its way through a tricky period, not in terms of the company itself, but in terms of the market. It was to bring some of my skills, and in fact, I guess I'm bringing some skills that they don't have on board. So yeah, I take nothing for granted right now. But actually, yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I can see really quite a good future at the business, for sure.
Yeah, and you've got the track record and the experience to make that happen. Good
Sure, thank you. Yeah, no, it's nice. Plus, it's local. It's a local, first time for a long time that I've actually worked at a local business, and it's actually quite a nice work-life balance too. So it's actually it's ticking a lot of boxes, really is.
Well, with the COVID-19 pandemic, many people are worried about how they can manage their careers or whether they should be looking for another job. So thank you for sharing your experience, Paul.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You know, it's a tricky time for everybody. Unfortunately, there's a lot of very good people who are taking extended career breaks right now, who are looking for work, who under, call it normal situations, simply wouldn't be doing that. So it is a job searching right now is brutal.
Well, yours is a good news story, Paul. You're a beacon of light in a situation where you've found a new job in the middle of the lockdown. So thank you for
Yeah,
sharing that story with us.
yeah, you're welcome.
If you want to look up other stories about my coaching successes, please look up francischristie.co.uk.